Tonight will drop down to a low around 56. Mostly sunny and unseasonably warm tomorrow. We could see some showers and gusty winds through the overnight. We'll reach a high near 78 and a low of about 60. And rain likely through the early afternoon on Wednesday. We'll see highs near 70 and a low of 45. I'm Lisa Marie with your Beaver County weather.
That's a look at news for now. I am Noah Haswell on 99.3 FM and AM 1230 WBVP, also streaming live around the world at beavercountyradio.com.
Teleforum is on the air on Beaver County Radio, 99.3 FM and 1230 WBVP. The show is presented by East Rochester and Tusca Shop and Saves. And now, here is the host of the show, Eddie Crow.
It is Teleforum, and God bless us, everyone. 10 minutes after 11 o'clock, if you follow us on Facebook, you can not only listen to what's coming, but you can watch what's coming, because Mana is here. Mana Mehdi. Now, wait a minute. You were getting on me, said, get my name right. Did I get it right?
Yeah. Mana Mehdi. Mana Mehdi. Yep, that's it.
With Darling Events, and we are going to talk about anything but politics, because ballpark figure, how many events are you trying to deal with coming up for the holiday season? It ain't one.
Honestly, for the holidays, I've got about 6 right now. 6, so that's a lot. But I've done like 30 events in 2024. So as a new business, just getting started in this past spring, 30 events under my roster, all public and all, God bless, great weather and successful for the town and the towns that I've been doing them in. We're on a good first year. It's a good stretch.
Well, 30 for 30, I'd absolutely take it. The company is Darling Events. For people that don't know what that is, and we're going to get to all the events you got dealing with now, but for people who don't know what it is, explain what you do.
Yeah,
because
sure.
I sort of understand, but it looks like a bazillion moving parts.
Yeah, I wear a lot of hats.
Okay.
I wear a lot of hats. I like helping people. So I like to say yes. I say yes to a lot of things. But so my company is Darling Events, and I specialize in more so public events and helping small businesses. So like think of New Brighton. I helped put together the New Brighton Night Market, which is a kind of a vendor event, like a street market with food trucks and live music, and we do public giveaways, and it's a great time.
Everything from ceramics to authors to everything in between.
Yep. Mm-hmm. I got to help the New Brighton Public Library this year with their wine walk, which this was one of the most successful wine walks we've had.
Is this bad form to say you should have called it the wine weave?
Wait, why?
At the end of the wine walk, are people weaving?
Oh, yeah, maybe.
Okay.
That's good.
And make that a private event to avoid litigation.
Yeah.
But okay.
The after party, the wine weave.
That's it.
Yeah. So my company, honestly, like I said, it's basically just me right now. I just hired an assistant, but I focus on public events, primarily in New Brighton. New Brighton is very good to me. I started getting involved in that community. I worked for a boutique there downtown, and the community members and the other business owners just kind of took me under their wing and said, we love that you do an event here. Can you help us with our event here? And can you be a part of this organization and that organization? So between the library and the Rotary, I dabbled helping the Merrick Art Gallery for a little bit. I love giving back. I love helping the small businesses, and I love, bringing the community together.
What made you make that jump from being a part of the community to doing events for the community? Because that's a leap. You've already got a gig, and now you're going to start planning gigs for everybody else. What made you say, I want to do that? Yeah,
so that's a great question. So whenever I was helping manage this boutique, the boutique had a following, and so we were doing like monthly events. You want to do something fun and themed and bring in more customers. And so since I was having a fun event, I would go down the street, I'd introduce myself, hey, I'm Anna, I'm new in town, and I'd go to places like Polly's Legging Wings and Slurpenburst Boba and Altman's Gunsmithing, and I'd say, hey, do you also want to have a party on the same date? And I'll send my following over to you, and you send your following over to me, and we can make it like a crawl. And that's really, truly how it got started. We started just collaborating and sharing our customers between everybody and really highlighting what New Brighton had to offer. And it kind of just started from there. I got involved with the New Brighton Business District Authority, which if you guys aren't already following them, I help run their social media account, and we try to post everything that's going on in New Brighton and surrounding areas as much as possible. So like if a store's having a special or something like that. But basically the business district is built up of community leaders and business owners downtown, like Roslyn's Candy Castle and Forte Financial, Brighton
with the
Music
new
Center.
castle.
Yeah, with the new castle. Have you seen it?
I saw it this weekend.
Yeah, I was there.
My God.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing. They had a great crowd too
Yes,
for
they
their opening ceremony, and what a lovely family, honestly. And not just them, but every family of business owners that I've gotten to deal with in New Brighton so far truly are just wonderful people. Very supportive. So.
What do you tell people? And I know it's happened, and you don't got to tell me who, but you go to a business, say, hi, I'm Mana, and I run Darling Events, I do events, and the response is, well, I'm doing okay. I don't need new events. What's your pitch at that point?
I really
Obviously,
haven't had that.
I was going to say, obviously, that hasn't happened a lot.
Yeah, I really haven't had that too much. I've basically kind of proven myself in the community as far as like I know how to take a good picture, and I know how to take a good little video clip, and I can advertise for your company. And so people saw that from me working at that boutique that I worked at, and the other local business owners, they were like, they're pretty open-minded as to, hey, Mana, if you're doing something, we want to help you and be a part of it, because we know that the content's good and the community that comes out is really great.
Are these skills that you have that people don't know they don't have until they see somebody that does?
That's a good question. I feel like you know if you have it or not. I do. I feel like you know if you have it or not. But I do feel like the quality of your content in today's world really makes a difference
That's
with your
just
small
that
business.
you walk in. I own a small business. I don't know what quality content is. I think, okay, content is just the words I put up there. What makes something quality content versus what I would put up on?
That's a great question. So I would say having a clear, precise photo of your products, knowing how to merchandise your store well, which a lot of small business owners, I see people with the want and the will to have really great talent, and they open up a store, but they might not know how to merchandise the store. And when I say merchandise, I mean say you've got 5 little items on a table. It's how you put those items on the table that will attract a customer's eyeball, and what's going to make the customer pick up that item and potentially buy it. And it's all in how you display your products. And that's true for a small business. It's also true for a vendor at a vendor event.
Sure.
I mean, it's true for anyone. Marketing and advertising. Are you posting on social media? And it's not just posting. However, posting to post is great, because if you're not posting, you're not in the game. But if you're posting, make sure that your image might be even auto-edited on your iPhone or your Android. Hit auto and
all right,
auto
for
corrects
some people, you're talking gibberish. What's auto-edited?
So there's
Sounds
a button.
like the machine's taking over.
It is, yeah,
okay,
yeah.
cool.
It's really easy, yeah. So you could take a picture.
You made your peace with that.
It is.
Okay.
The machine's taking over. It's super easy. You take a picture and you hit the edit button, up on the top of
Top
your
right.
Yep, top right. Yep. Sometimes it's in 3 little dots, but you just go in there, you hit edit, and there's usually an auto setting, and you hit that auto button, and then usually all I do on top of that is sometimes it has filters. It has automated filters.
Yeah,
and
the
so
different tint, sepia,
Yes.
things like that.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, sepia, black and white, vivid. So I just make sure that the photo is vivid. So those are 2 simple, really, really simple, easy things you can do. And if you're not the one taking the photos and your photos aren't clear, then let your some people have content creators that they work with. So let that person know.
Is that a job?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a very high paying job. It's a good job for sure.
How do you justify getting paid to do that? Is it how much I grow your platform or your website? What
Yeah.
if I'm a content creator? Where am I most likely to be able to get a gig doing that for somebody? Is it going to be Facebook? Is it going to be TikTok? Is it going to be X or whatever it's called now?
Yeah, I just heard about that.
Yeah.
I just heard about
Yeah.
that the other day. I was like, what is X?
Yeah, that's what it is.
I just heard that was at Twitter, right? Twitter
Sure.
got changed to X.
Sure.
Yeah. So that's a good question. Honestly, like say you're starting out, right? And you love taking photos and you want to be a content creator. I would say, yes, Facebook, social media, Instagram, like all of those.
All the standards.
All of the standards, yes. Those are all very important to get your name out there. Posting, creating videos, putting stories, just knowing the basics of those social media platforms can really help. But then honestly, and I'm saying this because we need more of this in Beaver County, we need the young people, the high schoolers, the college kids, even some middle schoolers, you know, like people who need volunteer hours, maybe something like that. You're looking for your first job. Find a small business in one of these downtown, especially the river towns, you know, like everyone needs help right now. Small business owners need help. They don't understand the social media platforms like the younger generation does. And so go in there and say, hey, you know, here's some of my photos. This is what I like to do. Would you mind if I took some pictures for you and you posted them, and let's see if we can work a relationship out.
Here's
you
my
know?
digital portfolio.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. Or show them your Instagram. Instagram is a digital portfolio as itself.
Is that a difficult sell? Walk in somebody like me. There are people, not necessarily my age, but there are people when you mention social media and platforms, oh, that's the devil.
Yeah, so a lot of people do think that social media,
Garbage.
Yeah, they do. However, in today's day and age, I mean, if you're a business owner and you're trying to make it, you have to be with the times. I mean, in any career, you know, you always have to learn. You always have to keep yourself updated with what's trending and what's happening. And we do have a lot of like established business owners in the area that, you know, they don't think that they need it. But is that business going to stay around forever? Who knows, you know? I mean, that's just like robots. If we're not going to get in on the trend of robots are, you know, here and happening, then, you know, are they going to take over?
So if we don't get with them, they're going to take over. If we don't get with them, they won't.
Yeah, right.
Okay. Mana, a big sci-fi fan, are you? Name one sci-fi movie where the robots getting sentient was a good thing for carbon-based.
What's that one called, like iRobot? It creeps me out. If you go on TikTok anymore, you see there are scientists right now, not to like completely change the subject.
No,
but
that's okay.
there are scientists right now that they show, like they'll go like live stream and they have robots and the robots look like real people. It's crazy. It's insane. It's really cool. But yeah, it's happening.
Mana, Mehdi is my guest with Darling Events. Have you ever seen a movie called They Live?
No.
You need to watch that.
Okay. All right.
Before we get back on topic.
I'm going to write that down, actually.
And it was voted the greatest fight scene in movie history. You know who Roddy Piper was?
I've heard of
Wrestler.
his name. Yeah.
Okay.
I've heard of his name.
Also appeared on Always Sunny in Philadelphia as a former wrestler. He was brilliant in that, but look up the fight scene for They Live.
Yeah.
Roddy Piper and his buddy in an alley. They beat each other for a good 20 minutes.
Oh, goodness.
It's a John Carpenter movie.
Oh, okay.
While you're talking about robots and
Yeah.
talking about technology. That's the movie you need to see.
Nice.
You talk about young people, or does none of this phase the younger generation like it does people that grew up watching those old sci-fi movies? Is this just the norm?
Yeah, I think it would be just the norm. I mean, and like I like to I feel like I'm getting older, but like I'm 33. I just turned 33.
I got underwear older than you.
You might want to throw those away.
Well, it's sentimental things, don't we?
Yeah, right, yeah.
You're young at heart and young chronologically.
But I feel like even I'm out of date, you know? I mean, like content creation and event planning and stuff like that, and working alongside small businesses with marketing and stuff like I've been talking about, that's something that I'm doing right now. And I still feel like I'm out of date if I don't keep up with what's going on.
Which is making you feel more out of date? Is it the technology or is it the ideas being presented through the technology?
That's a good question. I would say the technology, because it's just continuing to advance. It's just continuing to advance.
Well, what's continuing to advance? It's getting better, but is it becoming more difficult or more user-friendly to actually be able to use? Okay,
so I'm going to say both, and this is why. I actually had an experience just yesterday where... Saturday rather, this weekend. So Saturday, I was going around New Brighton, excuse me, and I was doing content creation. And I started at Roslyn's, and then I went to the library. They opened up that little free art gallery inside the library. That was really cool. And then I went to the Black Hawk craft show, which was amazing. And at the Black Hawk craft show, I had my phone in my hand, but it wasn't like I wasn't filming anything. I was just talking to vendors, and I had my phone in my hand. And whenever I left the craft show, I couldn't get back into my phone for some reason. I had locked myself out of it. And with
you had accidentally tried to hit the password 3 times without knowing it,
exactly.
And it said, "No, you're done."
Exactly. Yes. So, and this is all going to come back around to your question because I really feel like it's crazy that you asked me that because I just went through this, but so I couldn't get into my phone, which for me that was like life altering. I couldn't work basically, you know. Right. And so I did the password thing, right, and it kept telling me, put your password into your phone. And it was the wrong password over and over again. And I know my password, but I'm so used to using Face ID because the phone just recognizes my face and it opens up right away, right?
That doesn't freak you out that a machine's determining access to information based on looking at you?
Yeah. Oh, it does.
Okay.
Oh, it does.
All
it
right.
does. It gets creepier. It gets creepier. So I go home and I call Apple, right? And there's a man who says, do you have another phone next to you? And my boyfriend was there, so we used his phone. Apple got onto his phone through the camera, and we showed them what my camera was, what my phone was doing through his phone. Insane. It creeped both of us out, you know, that somebody from another country was just like in our camera at that moment. And like, obviously we gave permission at the time, but that was one instance. Then,
well, but what option do you have? If you don't get permission, you're not going to get your phone back.
Well, exactly. Yeah. So this guy, he tried his best, but he couldn't help us. I was worried about backup. I was worried about like losing 9,000 photos that maybe didn't back up. And I've got about 40,000 photos and videos on my phone right now. And I pay for the extra backup, but I wasn't sure if it was there.
Why don't you just go and get an external hard drive and plug it in and upload it to there just to have your own copies of it? Right.
And I do. Okay. I do have that kind of stuff backed up. But I was worried about maybe like the last 30 days, you know. I was worried that it didn't back up. So I called Apple. I went there yesterday. Apple's saying that this happens a lot where people are so used to using FaceTime that the passwords might not work anymore or something like that. And that's like a thing. So I'm sitting there. Luckily, I didn't lose anything on my phone. Luckily, I reset my phone. I lost text messages from Thursday on, but everything else was saved. Thank God. And the guy was showing me his new phone. It was like a Apple 16.
It's the Apple 1 million. I'm more special than you, exe.com Obaraja.
Yeah.
That's what it says on the side of the really nice box.
Yeah. So he showed me the new phone, and I have a 14, and my phone does a lot of great things. I just got it 2 years ago, so I'm thinking my phone's great. It's new, you know, 2 years old. It's new. It's not. No. It's not. So he's showing me on Siri, and Siri does this thing now where you can ask Siri to write you an essay. Because it's connected to ChatGPT. Do you know what ChatGPT is?
Yeah, it's AI. It's gibberish. It's the devil. It's the Antichrist of technology.
But it's so helpful. So when you're saying, like, is it scary, but is it also helpful? Like, yeah, it's insane what...
Do you want your doctor, the final medical paper they have to write before they get their MD, to have a machine write it?
Exactly. Probably not.
No.
Yeah. You want them to study.
Unless, of course, it's a robot doing the surgery.
Well, you never know. We might get to that.
I'm asking old crazy man questions about technology. Mehdi is my guest with Darling Events. More paranoia after the news on Teleforum.
Attention veterans. Enjoy a ticket-only event at the Senior Center at the mall inside the Beaver Valley Mall. There are only 250 tickets available, so be sure to stop in the center and reserve your seat to attend this event on Friday, November 8th from noon until 2 p.m. Complimentary tickets for veterans, but you still need to pre-register, and non-veterans are only $3 but must pre-register as well. Remember, this is a ticket-only event. This event includes an honor guard salute, picnic lunch, chili cook-off, and enjoy the sounds from the Project Band. This event is presented by the Center at the Mall and the Beaver County Office on Aging. Sponsors include Vietnam Veterans Chapter 862, Aetna Medicare Solutions, Patriot Home Care, and BMS Cat and Gallagher Home Health Services. Don't miss this big event. Make your reservations today and enjoy great company, food, and entertainment. Join us as we salute our veterans. Call the center for more info at 724-774-5654.
Hi, I'm Roman Kozak, and I'm the grandson of 4 World War II Nazi labor camp survivors. My family is the American dream story, and in the Pennsylvania State House, I want to work to ensure that the American dream is there for our children and grandchildren in our region for generations to come. I will fight to reduce the cost of living and tackle inflation by stopping Harrisburg overspending, harnessing Pennsylvania energy to reduce our utility costs, and pushing for real tax relief, especially for our seniors. I will work to make our communities safer by supporting our law enforcement and making sure they have the resources they need to get tough on crime and illegal immigration. And I will work relentlessly to grow our economy with smart regulatory and tax reform. I'm honored to be endorsed by outgoing State Representative Jim Marshall, the National Rifle Association, our local and state police, and business leaders and labor groups across our community and Commonwealth. It's simple. Reduce the cost of living, safer communities, economic growth. Vote Roman Kozak to be your next state representative. Paid for by Citizens for Kozak.
They don't call her Confiscation Kamala for nothing. Don't take it from us.
And I support a mandatory buyback program.
A mandatory buyback program? That means the government forcing you to turn in your firearms. To what lengths would Kamala go? Well, she doesn't even support the individual right to own a firearm.
I'm prepared to take executive action and put in place a ban on the importation of assault weapons into our country.
We get it. Sometimes it's tough to understand what she's talking about. But on the Second Amendment and your rights, Confiscation Kamala has been crystal clear. Her gun control agenda comes straight from that petri dish of bad ideas that is California. She can claim to be a gun owner all she wants, but we all know she's the same anti-gun California radical she's always been. Don't be left defenseless. Defeat Confiscation Kamala. Vote Trump like your life depends on it, because it does. NRA Political Victory Fund paid for and is responsible for the content of this advertising. Not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. NRAPVF.org.
Beaver County Radio's news source, 95.7 and 99.3 FM, along with 1230 WBVP, 1460 WMBA, and streaming at beavercountyradio.com.
Good morning. I am Noah Haswell on 99.3 FM and AM 1230 WBVP. On this Monday, November 4th of 2024, it'll be partly sunny skies today with a high near 68 degrees. We will have a complete Beaver County radio weather forecast after we take this look at news. Election day is tomorrow, and Beaver County residents need to be patient if there happens to be a good amount of people at the polls. Beaver County has a total of 117,461 registered voters, and according to local election officials, 80% of those voters are anticipated to participate in the election. The only change to the polling places for the primary election, according to the Beaver County Elections Office, is for Economy's second precinct, which moved to the Economy Fire Department Banquet Hall at 3308 Conway Walrose Road. Voters can call the Beaver County Elections Office at 724-770-4440 or visit the Pennsylvania Voters Services website to confirm their polling locations. In a groundbreaking ceremony on Saturday, officials welcomed the new fire department in Monaca Borough. Thanks to a grant of $1.5 million being given on Friday, the brand new facility will turn 3 former stations into one collective building. $2.3 million total went towards the project, and Representative Rob Matzey, County Commissioner Tony Amadeo, and Monaca Borough Manager Dave Kramer joined on Pacific Avenue to celebrate the achievement of the project. The 27,000 square foot fire department will be used for police, fire, and administrative needs, as well as storing emergency vehicles. According to the Monaca newsletter, the time when the building can be expected to open is in the fall of 2025. PennDOT District 11 is announcing lane closures on I-376, the Beaver Valley Expressway in Vanport Township, occurring today through Wednesday, weather permitting. A single-lane closure on the I-376 Vanport Bridge in each direction will occur today through Wednesday from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m., as PennDOT crews conduct bridge washing operations. Motorists should be prepared for changing traffic patterns, and please use caution when driving through the area because work zone safety is everyone's responsibility. Secretary of the Commonwealth Al Schmidt encourages Pennsylvania voters to educate themselves about their rights before they vote in person on November 5th. This audio is courtesy of Commonwealth Media Services.
If you're voting for the first time in Pennsylvania, or you're voting for the first time in a new precinct, you must show proof of identification. That ID can include your state driver's license, or other state or federal issued ID, or a passport, U.S. passport, or other approved form of identification. You can find a list of acceptable forms of identification at vote.pa.gov. If you're a first-time voter and did not bring ID to the polls, you can request to vote by provisional ballot as well. If you've moved within Pennsylvania but didn't update your address on your voter registration before the deadline, you may also vote at your previous precinct one last time, and you're in the poll book.
On Saturday, two siblings, Ronnie and Remy Patrick, warmed people up in Aliquippa after their free winter coat giveaway at the Little Free Library in Aliquippa. Ronnie and Remy gave away 720 winter coats, along with hats, gloves, socks, and scarves. Blankets and non-perishable food were also donated in preparation for Thanksgiving, and the leftovers went to Adoption Connection PA in Beaver. The duo that started the Little Free Library increased the total number of sweaters given to those who needed them last year by 310 this year.
Here's the Beaver County forecast.
A beautiful day in store for us with partly sunny skies and a high near 69. Clear tonight will drop down to a low around 56. Mostly sunny and unseasonably warm tomorrow. We could see some showers and gusty winds through the overnight. We'll reach a high near 78 and a low of about 60. And rain likely through the early afternoon on Wednesday. We'll see highs near 70 and a low of 45. I'm Lisa Marie with your Beaver County weather.
That's a look at news for now. I am Noah Haswell on 99.3 FM and AM 1230 WBVP, also streaming live around the world at beavercountyradio.com.
Now, it's time to talk on Teleforum on Beaver County Radio. 1230 WBVP, 1460 WMBA, 99.3 FM, and beavercountyradio.com. And now, here is the host of the show, Eddie Crow.
It is Teleforum. Go ahead. Wait a minute. Let me switch the camera over. Now go ahead and wave. Mana Mehdi of Darling Events is my guest. I got a message during the news, and your response is, oh, is that from Clint? I got a message from Clint, and he's right. It was a general example, Clint. Take a deep... Hey, Eddie, they were aliens taking human bodies, not robots or cyborgs in the movie They Live. Right. I'm just talking about thinking you're talking to one species and talking about a different species. We were talking about technology. And are you going to be able to keep up with it? You said something I thought was really interesting. You have to deal with technology. You have to embrace it to do what your job is, to plan events, okay?
Yeah.
Does it ever scare you? You said there's some stuff that I can't keep up with or that I don't know, that the younger generation?
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's constant, it's constant just retraining and I listen to podcasts about like what's trending. I listen to podcasts about content creation,
Who
learn new
decides
things.
that?
I don't know. That's a good question. Who knows? I feel like they decide that, right? That's what everyone says. They,
right.
with quotations, they decide that. But you really have to keep up with everything, and you have to do it months in advance. And like YouTube is another really great source for learning. Masterclass is a great source for learning.
All right, I'm playing the role of the crusty, old, confused guy. Why should I trust somebody to give me the correct information just because they set up a table in their mom's basement and made a sign?
Good question.
How do you filter out the gibberish from the non-gibberish?
Well, I feel like that's where the research comes in. You know, you have to watch multiple. You can't just listen to one person or two people. You have to, and it's the same thing with reading a book, you know, or listening to a professor. You have to get multiple sources of information and then decide what's best for you.
Take in as many different sources about the same subject and then synthesize to the best conclusion?
Yeah.
Is that troubling that, again, we're talking about media and this is what you do for a living? Where should that line be drawn? If I can be wrong about the best looking pillowcase set, much easier than I can be wrong about a medical condition that I can treat with these herbs and berries.
Right. Well, I wouldn't get into like the medical stuff online just because, no one can really tell you other than like a doctor who's trained. But as far as a pillowcase, now that is something that I would go online and research. I truly would. If I'm getting a new bed set, I would go on and I would see what are the best Amazon reviews. What are people on TikTok talking about?
Is it not scary that you just talk about going to multiple sources? Mm-hmm. We go to reviews. Number one, you're going to review at one place that sells the planet. And number two, those reviews are coming from regular human beings like us. We could be goofy. Do you trust them? Can you trust them? Can you trust the filtering process of those reviews?
That's a good question.
Doesn't all this stuff scare you?
It does, because sometimes those reviews are paid,
Right.
So that's, you don't know unless you try it, You don't know unless you try the product for yourself.
Is it a difficult thing when you go and you're talking to a client to get them past the level of distrust that I've been exhibiting, saying, well, how do you know? You're telling me this is what's going to happen. How do you know that's really what's happening and it's not Russian bots trying to sell me really crappy flatware or whatever?
Yeah. I don't know. Coming back around to the events part of it, I haven't had too many people that have said no to something. I haven't had too many people that haven't at least given it a try.
Okay.
Yeah. Does that answer your question?
It does answer my question. It tells me that people find you trustworthy.
Yeah, for the most part. I mean, I'm genuinely nice, I mean, I don't like working with mean people, and I don't like putting out that negative energy because there's too much hate in the world. There's too much negativity. And we talked about this last time I was on, the sharks, and you were like, what makes somebody sharky?
Right.
And I don't like dealing with them. I don't like dealing with someone
Is that a
who's,
necessary, isn't that at times for you and your company, isn't that a necessary evil?
Sometimes, yeah.
Because business is business before anything else.
Oh, yeah. And the more people, like my following is growing, I'm doing a lot in the community. It's like people are recognizing me out in the street because I put my face online. And that's a scary thing, too. But I feel like if you've proven yourself by having a successful event that's actually helped the community, right? Like when I say help the community, I mean, it's bringing in locals. Locals are coming up to me. They're going, oh, I love that event. I got to take my kids into town. There's something to do now. Beaver County, we don't have to travel to Pittsburgh. There's lots of fun things to do. So I'm making the locals happy. But then the brick and mortar business owners, you're like, that's hard to have a business, especially nowadays with everyone buying things online. And
the company you just mentioned.
Yeah, right, exactly. And that one, and then there's a ton of them. There's a ton of them. Online shopping is insane now. So to have that brick and mortar storefront for anything, these events are bringing people into the downtown area. They're bringing people into the storefronts. And so, I mean, I think the only complaint that I ever get is parking. Truly, that's the only complaint I get right now.
That's a Beaver County standard, isn't it?
Yeah. Parking sucks everywhere.
Yeah, so. That one public lot, they got there before you. I hate to say that. No, I'm not going to say this. How needful are we of, as human beings, how needful are we of gatherings and interaction?
Oh, highly.
Do
Especially
you
after
think,
COVID. Yeah,
do you
especially
think people
after
know
COVID.
that?
Yeah, I think so. I think it depends on I think it depends on age. That's a big thing because whenever you're younger, whenever you have kids that are younger, you're always around people with their sports, school activities, things like that.
Disney on Ice.
Yeah, right. Disney on Ice, cruises, vacations. But then whenever the kids go off to college and stuff, or whenever you're, out of college yourself and say you're single in your 30s like me, that's whenever I feel like the loneliness really sets in, whenever families are separated and things like that, and having a public event to come to, having a place in town to go to, you really just, you build your community. And that's something that I'm experiencing a lot in New Brighton. On the break, I was telling Eddie here that I traveled around my whole life. I was a military child. And then my mom also worked for a couple different big hotels. And
Nice.
for the hotels, she'd go around and open the new hotels. And so we'd travel a lot. So between that, I had 11 schools, K through 12.
Oh, gosh.
So, and I moved all the time. And something that, why I'm putting my heart into New Brighton specifically right now and into this area is the community that we're building. I mean, I can go into a place like the New Brighton Public Library, and you think libraries, people are going to be mean. No, they're really nice. They're very helpful.
What kind of libraries did you grow up around? You think they're going to be mean?
Yeah, shh, don't talk,
Well,
that kind of thing.
shushing isn't necessarily mean. The second shush, I said, shh, that? Okay.
Yeah.
I ran some rough libraries as a kid, it sounds like.
Sometimes, yeah, but we've got really nice people there. You can go to a place like Bullseye Brewing Company, and family run, family owned, and they've got things like board games for the kids. You get to know people. The more you come into the downtown, the more you support local, shop local, eat local, the locals start to get to know you, and you're no longer lonely. You come to an event and you walk around and you know everybody. I just went to the Woolly Bullies Great Pumpkin Roll.
Yeah.
You ever been to that?
I have.
Oh my gosh.
It involves community spirit and busting stuff. It's brilliant.
Yeah. It was a great time. And I went by myself. And I went, like I said, to film content. And if you were just listening, I lost access to my phone for 24 hours. The worst thing ever for a young person who's a content creator. The worst thing ever, okay? And anyway, whenever I was walking around Woolly Bullies, it was just so nice because being there alone, I wasn't truly alone. You walk in, there's somebody everywhere saying, hey, Mana, how are you? Hey, how's your feet? How's this? How's that? So how's my feet because I got injured. But carbon-based interaction is better than silica-based interaction. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, what happened to your foot?
So for Fall Festival, I was trying to get the hay bales and the pumpkins out of the back of a trailer. And I wasn't paying attention to where my feet were. And I dropped the trailer, the tailgate, on my feet. So very lucky I didn't break anything. Very lucky. But everyone's joking now. I need steel-toed shoes. So...
You came in today to talk about upcoming events. We haven't said word one about upcoming events.
I know, we're having a good time talking.
Please let me know. I'm just picturing you shopping for steel-toed boots.
I know, right? Maybe for Christmas I'll get some. I don't know.
Hint.
Yeah.
Put it on the Santa app.
Yeah, steel-toed Crocs.
What's the next event that you've got? Because you said 5 or 6 for this holiday stretch alone.
Yeah. So, we've got a lot. So, first off, Brighton Music Center. I want to shout them out with their next event coming up because it's an event that I actually helped create. I was one of the first people helping it. Their open mic. We've got a great open mic night with Brighton Music Center. I mean, they supply the sound. They supply keyboard. You bring your guitar, you can do more than just sing or perform music. If you have poetry, you can do that. I go up on stage, I tell dad jokes and community announcements.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. They're silly dad jokes. They're silly. But, it gets the crowd laughing and it's something different. So it's not just like music.
It's interaction.
Yes. And it's open for everyone. The stage is open for everyone. So I started it back in last December. And it was me and Andrew that works there.
Yep.
He's amazing singer-songwriter. It's amazing
I purchased strings from Andrew on more than one occasion.
He's awesome. So it was me and Andrew, and we were at Pappy's Handcrafted Candles, and there was only one other person that came.
That's
other
all right.
person. Yeah, that was it. And now, and Brighton Music Center has done it every single month this year, and they choose a different location. Sometimes they'll be at Bullseye Brewing Company. Sometimes they'll be in their courtyard, stage 1011, which is right next door to them outside.
Right.
Beautiful. And anyway, it's really cool because now there are about 30 to 40 people that come out, and you get such a variety of entertainment. It's awesome. So their next event, their next open mic is November 22nd. It's Friday night, and it's from 6 to 8 p.m. So November 22nd, Brighton Music Center, open mic, 6 to 8 p.m. It's going to be at Pappy's Handcrafted Candles, which is on 3rd and 8th
Right on
in
the
New
main
Brighton.
drag, yep.
Yep, right on the main drag. If you haven't been to Pappy's, he is amazing. Kevin Avery is the owner. One of my really good friends, helps with just about everything. Excuse me. And he has soaps and candles and a bunch of fun, nice things. Beautiful storefront. There's a little event room, so you can rent out the space, and the open mic will be in the event room. Now, it's right by Copico's Pizza, so
Yep.
support local, eat local, grab a pizza, take it over, and enjoy open mic indoors, So that's one of the next big events. Then after that, in New Brighton, we've got Christmas Fest.
Cool.
Now, Christmas Fest, a lot of people have been asking, is there going to be Fire and Ice this year? And just to touch on that real briefly, Fire and Ice was a different company, and they took that to Ambridge. So it might be going on somewhere else, but it's not happening in New Brighton. What New Brighton is doing is they're working with me, and we are combining the New Brighton Public Library's Wassail Walk, which is an annual event.
Wassail.
Yes. Have you ever had wassail?
Deeply personal question, isn't it?
No, wassau's pretty good. It's like a mulled cider. It's like a hard cider, mulled cider.
For the people that are too manly to drink mead.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I've never had wassail.
Oh,
This
well, you
is
gotta
the year.
come. You
Sure.
gotta come. Please come. It's a great time. But all the brick and mortars serve wassail, however you'd like to say it. And
Depends on how many you had, doesn't it?
it does. Yeah. It does. Sometimes they're spiked. Sometimes there's not. It's a family-friendly event, so they usually have other options for the kids. And then every storefront also has some kind of appetizer that you can sample. And then you're strolling through the town and you're shopping for the holidays. We've got the Dickens Choir comes out, and they sing they have beautiful old-fashioned costumes. They look like they're coming out of a Charles Dickens story, and they're walking through the streets singing. All the stores are decorated for the holidays. It's great. Tickets are on sale right now. You can go online. If you're on Facebook, you can go to New Brighton Christmas Fest in the events tab, and you'll see tickets for the Wassail Walker in there. You can also buy them at the library or on the library's website. But that is the first night of Christmas Fest. The second night, it's a 2-day thing, Friday and Saturday.
For the people that survived the first night of Oprah Wassail. Okay. The Wobble Wassail.
Yeah. It's a good time. It's a good time. The second thing is we're combining that with our light up night. Normally New Brighton's light up night was in Townsend Park, and it's very nice. They get together with mostly just the children of the community come out, and the New Brighton area school district has their students make these wreaths, holiday wreaths.
Yeah, I remember them.
They're beautiful. They're beautiful. And they auction those off. And that money gets put towards the New Brighton Borough has a fund, basically, that gets that money back into the community for families in need for the holidays. So it gives them food, toys, things like that.
It's the perfect give back for the season.
Yeah, it truly is. It's really a way of community coming together in all aspects. But so for this year, we are expanding that. It's not just going to be in Townsend. It's going to be all through 3rd Avenue. We're going to have the street shut down. I've got horse and carriage rides. And we've got... it's Christmas Fest, so I'm inviting all the churches to participate.
Sweet.
Yeah. So we've got lots of live music, lots of carolers. There's going to be a small holiday shopping market. All the brick and mortars downtown who are participating will be open. That's the majority of them. And just lots of fun for the whole family. Food trucks, live entertainment, all that kind of jazz. So that's going to be Saturday, December 7th. It's going to be from 2 to 8 p.m. So once again, New Brighton Christmas Fest, really all about bringing the community together. And it's going to be December 6th and 7th. You can find all the information on Facebook. Just type in New Brighton Christmas Fest in Facebook events, and you'll see everything right there. So
Mana has been my guest, Mana Mehdi, and the company is Darling Events. Anything that you didn't get out that you wanted to make sure people knew about in the last minute or so?
Yeah. So to tighten up on just a couple
we got all
things.
weird about robots and stuff, didn't we? My bad.
That's okay. It's fun. It's always a good time talking to you. So I'm doing a Holly Jolly bar crawl in New Brighton. I almost made him spit out his coffee
Those
there.
are words you don't see in a sentence that often.
Yeah, Holly Jolly bar crawl.
It starts with wobble wassail, then it gets weird.
Yeah.
Right.
The bar crawl is going to be Saturday, December 28th. And it's a crawl through the downtown of New Brighton into all the popular bars. So the Blue Marble, Woolly Bullies, Jimmy K's, and Jimmy's letting us use his duck boat for transportation. So that's going to be a lot of fun. We definitely want to shout him out because that's awesome.
Yeah.
And then Bullseye Brewing Company, and we're going to try to get the new bar, if they are open, we're going to try to get them. Big Rock Bar and Grill.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to try to get them involved as well. But it's just a fun bar crawl, stroll through the downtown, have some fun with your friends. You don't have to go to the city if you're home for the holidays between Christmas and New Year's. Dress up like fun. I'm going to be walking around the event giving fun little giveaways to everyone I think is dressed like...
that really put their spirit into it.
Yeah. Made their spirits bright.
They
made their spirits bright, yeah.
That's exactly right.
And then we've also got the coffee crawl coming up January 28th. Now, that was a great event last year. That is a fundraiser for the New Brighton Business District Authority. So January 25th, that's also on Facebook events. Tickets are relatively cheap. You stroll through the downtown, you sample all types of coffees, teas, hot cocos,
you
bakeries.
Come out ahead.
Yeah.
You do come out ahead. I remember.
Yeah, it's a really nice event. So, and then shameless plug, completely separate, but I am working with the Beaver Area Chamber of Commerce, downtown Beaver, and they've got a couple of nice events coming up too. This Saturday, the 9th, from 10 to 4 is their holiday open house. Just stroll through the downtown, check out what the stores have to offer, shop local. And then Light Up Night for them is coming up on the 29th of November. It's already here. So Light Up Nights from 5 to 9, following Small Business Saturday on the 30th. So
you are a ray of sunshine and brightness and community and warmth, and absolutely. Darling
Thank
Events,
you.
Mana Mehdi has been my guest. I got to get back to the ugly for the election stuff tomorrow, though.
You're busy, no time to cook, you're hungry, and the kids are too. Don't